Adolf Hitler, the infamous dictator of Nazi Germany, is remembered for his devastating impact on history. Yet, a lesser-known aspect of his early life is his aspiration to become an artist. Between 1908 and 1913, during his years in Vienna, Hitler produced hundreds of artworks in an attempt to make a living by selling paintings and hand-colored postcards. Despite his persistence, his art found little commercial success. After World War II, some of his paintings resurfaced, selling for tens of thousands of dollars at auction. Others were confiscated by the US Army and remain in the custody of the US government to this day. This article explores these rare and controversial works, offering a glimpse into the creative ambitions of one of history's most notorious figures. In Mein Kampf, 1925, Hitler reflected on his youthful dream of becoming a professional artist. That dream was derailed when he twice failed to gain admission to the Academy of Fine Arts Vienna, in 1907 and again in 1908. Although he passed the preliminary drawing exam, which required rendering biblical or iconic scenes within 6 hours, his portfolio was criticized for lacking figure studies. The admissions board concluded he had more talent for architecture than painting. One examiner, sympathetic to Hitler's situation, recommended he apply to the School of Architecture. But this route required a return to formal schooling, which Hitler had previously abandoned and refused to resume. Decades later, in a conversation with British Ambassador Neville Henderson in August 1939, shortly before World War II, Hitler remarked, "I am an artist and not a politician. Once the Polish question is settled, I want to end my life as an artist." Between 1908 and 1913, Hitler eked out a living by painting houses and adding colour to postcards. In 1910, at the age of 21, he completed his first known self-portrait. That work, along with 12 other paintings, was discovered in 1945 by US Army Sergeant Major Willie J. McKenna in Essen, Germany. While living in Vienna, Hitler found a regular buyer in Austrian businessman Samuel Morgenstern. Around 1911 or 1912, Hitler approached Morgenstern with 3 paintings, sparking an ongoing business relationship. Morgenstern's meticulous records revealed that many of Hitler's clients were Jewish. One such buyer, attorney Joseph Feingold, purchased multiple works depicting scenes of old Vienna. One of Hitler's better-known pieces from this period is Mother Mary with the Holy Child Jesus Christ, painted in 1913 in oil on canvas. Stylistically, Hitler's art was rigid, particularly in architectural scenes. He emulated 19th-century painters and avoided artistic innovation. Though he later claimed to have inspired various artistic movements, his work was heavily influenced by Greco-Roman classicism, the Italian Renaissance, and neoclassicism, styles he admired for their discipline and symbolism. He considered Austrian landscape painter Rudolf von Alt a major influence, sharing his attention to detail and interest in architectural subjects. Still, Hitler's paintings lacked the originality and expressiveness of his contemporaries. In 1936, American journalist John Gunther reviewed some of Hitler's early submissions to the Vienna Academy. He described them as prosaic, utterly devoid of rhythm, color, feeling, or spiritual imagination, comparing them to technical drafts rather than genuine art. Gunther noted that Hitler's works were more suited to architectural rendering than fine art, echoing the opinion of the Academy directors who rejected his application due to his poor ability to draw human figures. In 2002, an art critic unknowingly reviewed a set of Hitler's paintings and found them technically adequate, but remarked on the lifeless and awkward representation of human figures. The critique suggested a noticeable lack of emotional connection to people. Following World War II, several of Hitler's paintings were confiscated by the United States Army. While some remain in Europe, many were transported to the US and placed under government control. To this day, they have not been made available for public exhibition. Other works remained in private hands. In the early 2000s, a number of Hitler's paintings began appearing at auctions, generating both interest and controversy.